Right, I didn't actually need the screen first of all, because I thought you're all going to be happy after a beer, and you're all going to be relaxed after several talks. So what I want you to do is stand up. Shut your eyes. It gives me actually some time to get the screen working. This is always a good one to... Anyone got any ideas about the screen? No? Right. Anyway, what I want you to do, shut your eyes everyone, and I want you all to point north. Okay, keep your hand up. Open your eyes and look at yourselves. Pitiful. Any scouts here? Yeah? Now, why don't you just keep your hand up where it was, right? If you're fairly sure you know where north is, keep your hand up. Everyone else put your hand down. Right? Okay. Now, everyone look at those people that have still got the hand up. Yeah? Now, what I want you to do is close your eyes. Okay? And I want you to point north. All of you, point somewhere. Where you think north is. Right, open your eyes. Now look at you. Now look around at your colleagues. You're all more aligned, aren't you? Yeah? What happened there? Yeah. Yeah. So we are social animals. I'm going to be talking about the lean agile mindset. I can sit down now. I could do with a hand with the screens though, because I can't do that for half an hour.
Could be in trouble.
So what I wanted to explain to you, what was going on there, is more intelligent than anything we can do with networks and self-healing networks and artificial intelligence and everything else. I got a room full of people that don't have the same interfaces, that all came into the same room, yeah, and you all calibrated by the wisest people in the room, having done a an AI assessment as to, as which would be the best way to do it, and then you all agreed. Now, I didn't need a process, I didn't need a manual, I didn't need a voting system. Yeah, we all did that automatically. Yeah, this is really good news. We all come with organisation built in. We all come with a standard manual built in, and we all come with the ability to work together built in. What's your name?
Where is north?
Oh, it's there. I went out to the street and checked. It's down towards Leith. Yeah, so you all did very well. Round of applause for yourselves.
So you're making it a longer line
No, we're good. So I'm just going to start off. My background, I've been doing Agile coaching now for about 10 years. I've worked at places, I'm at the Chrysler Bank at the moment, I worked at Tesco Bank. I've been in the finance sector, I've worked with lots of dot-coms in Seattle, which is a completely different market from a UK financial sector market. And I've worked with lots of organisations through their transition from their existing waterfall, moving forward into going into their Agile techniques. One of the things that I'm going to talk to you about is the mindset, and I think that ties in very well with Mark's talk and also the other talks, especially about retrospectives and that, because I'm a great believer that there's actually more to do in Agile with the mindset than there actually is with any processes. So I'm going to do an experiment, okay? Who thinks that's the best tool? Hands up. Right, come up here. What's your name?
Daniel.
Yeah, we can do this without slides. Daniel.
Thank you.
There you go. I'm going to call you Daniel Hammer. Right. Who thinks this is a better tool? I remember as a boy I played one of these all the time. Who thinks this is a better tool? Someone must. Monica?
Like the weapon.
And just for health and safety reasons, I'm going to let you know that I put the saw blade the other way around so you can't cut yourself. Who thinks that's a great invention, you know? Best tool. What's your name?
Margaret.
Margaret, come on. Excellent. Now, the three of you, I'd like you to have an argument about which is the best tool. And we'll watch. Because I do lots of Lean Agile Glasgow meetings, and we put Lean coffee out, we put stickies up. And you know what the most every week, no matter who's new or old, you know what one question always comes up? Should I use Stickies or Jira? Yeah, which is better, Scrum or Kanban? Yeah, well, we're going to recreate those discussions now. So, argue amongst yourselves, we're just watching,
Okay.
casually in the pub.
3 rules of engineering. Always use the right tool for the job. The hammer is the best tool for any job. Rule 3, anything can be used as a hammer.
This can be used as a hammer.
Stick your presentation on a different laptop.
Okay. I think this actually precedes the hammer because it's no longer things are
Just hammer.
just hammer.
If it's wrong, keep hammering.
Yes. And then sew it up.
Yeah, I think this is very good intention because actually you can cut up, you can cut down, even in soil, and you can turn if you need. So it's multifunction.
This has a claw.
Some work, I just leave for others.
This can pivot.
Okay.
When we get the slides working, we're going to go into a bit of psychology. You're all talking in an adult voice, and I love that. Yeah, because this is the voice that we should talk to. I don't know if anyone went in to see Lean Agile Scotland and Catherine Kirk's speech about we don't want people being happy, we don't want people being sad, we just want people being normal. So really, thank you very much for a nice structured discussion.
And I keep this.
No. It's part of my toolkit that I need. I think the key thing and the key message is when I'm up here to talk about SAFe, right? Yeah, I see so much arguments and discussions that, you know, about SAFe this or DAD or less or Scrum or Kanban or anything. But really, tools are for specific jobs. As we're in Edinburgh, I used to work with a friend in Edinburgh, and I knew a surgeon there. And we used to call him Mr. Hammer because anytime anyone went to see him with any complaint, he thought the answer was surgery. Yep. It didn't matter whether you could get a chemical treatment or medical treatment or a therapy treatment, he thought surgery was the answer. I think sometimes we get into that mindset as well. We know one method. Have we got anything?
Not yet.
No. I had lunch with Clark Ching today, and we're talking about the last conference I went, and his presentation didn't work. And he wished me luck today. So.
I'll tell him more
Tell him tomorrow. Never let Clark Ching wish you good luck. Right. I'm just going to go through the slides as I go, as my prompt. My passion is making work human again. Okay? It's very interesting that Agile came from the IT community, because sometimes IT community is one of the ones with the headphones on, down at the monitor, not really making eye contact or relating. It's surprising that the accountants didn't come up with Agile, or the lawyers come up with Agile. And I think the basic reason of that is it's so complex. If anyone's doing any software development just now, the one thing you have to know is you can't know it all. You need to work as a team. That team's going to have to use experiences. Well, okay, so I was up to 2 o'clock in the morning doing these slides. Okay, so is anyone? I'm going to get you to visualize the SAFe 4 chart. Has anyone seen the SAFe 4 chart?
Yes.
Yeah, someone describe it for me. What's your name?
Hi.
Yeah.
Victor.
Victor, describe it for me.
Uh,
In your own words.
It's got some portfolio planning at the top, then something about the release trains in the middle,
Yeah.
the teams slightly lower below that, delivering their own reports, and there's some governance thingies and the foundations at the bottom.
Yeah. So about 2 years ago. Sorry, just carry on. Sorry. So about 2 years ago, Stephen came to me and went, I've been at SAFe leadership course. What do you think of SAFe? And I went, oh, don't think I like SAFe. It's all too processy. It's the kind of thing that process zombies like. Yeah. It's got, and then I looked at the chart and I got scared because there was too much stuff there, and I got fearful. And I went, ah! There's a picture of me going, ah! I'm trying to work the visuals here. Oh my God, this is getting taped. Okay, the next slide I've got after that was some Japanese writing that I was going to impress you with. Okay, and in the Japanese writing we are looking at soldiering on.
We're trying to reboot Scott now,
Okay.
the system, so
We could have had more beer.
8 seconds to go for a reboot.
So there are 3 Japanese. Everyone knows what Japanese writing looks like, yeah. And there's and they are the term shuhari. Shuhari, very good. So who knows about shuhari? Victor, you only get one go. Come on. What's your name?
Mike.
Mike. Tell us about shuhari.
Well, it's was it Japanese you were there?
Yeah.
There's Japanese word for something that's actually quite old, but the difference between master, expert, and novice.
Yeah. So I used to do karate when I was a thin person. When I was at university. And in karate you do katas. So now I'm now moving away from those visuals into doing some things for you now. and what you do is you imaginary fight people. And you'd practice it and practice it to get muscle memory. These are the processes. So I would turn like that. And then I would go forward like that. And then I would go again and I'd go, ah! And then I would go back because someone's attacking me from behind. And these are katas. People repeat katas all the time. I remember falling out with the sensei once, and he made me 1,000 times do that. You know, like the Karate Kid, wax on, wax off. Yeah. And then after that, I found my punch, it was much better. And it's muscle memory.
Back in.
So, the shu of shuhari is about student. So it's someone who's very new to something. Everyone, for prayer. And it's all about embracing the kata and learning the kata. Ha is when you're diverging from the kata, and ri is when you've discarded the kata. So I think one of the problems we've got when people talk about safe is if you're a ri in Scrum, so you know Scrum so well you don't actually have to do it all. You know Kanban so well you don't actually have to do it all. If I come along and then show you this very complicated thing that's really a shu process, it's for new people to it, it's for people learning it, you're going to go, that's too prescriptive, yeah. So a lot of the arguments about saw, hammer, tool, yeah, it's a lot of people who are Ris in their own topic looking at safe and say, wow, it's too complicated or it's too simple. This picture is good. So this is my journey so far. Right, what do you think of that guy there? Yeah? It's all about mindset. What's this guy's mindset? Yeah. That's me when I was a program director working in London. At that time you had to put like a tough face on to go into meetings. And you had to make a show of arguing about your team and I'll make sure they work hard. I'll make sure we get the weekend. I'll make sure the tester's there and yeah, just for the management because that's the mindset they wanted. When I got into Agile I threw all that away. But I was always very interested about where this mindset comes from. I started looking around at a lot of the problems in the industry. Has anyone ever read the book The Games People Play by Eric Byrne? Wonderful. What's your name?
David.
David, give us a bit of give us a little summary of the book.
Oh, I'm trying to think which. Yeah.
I can show you a slide. If that helps.
Transactional analysis.
Yes.
So it's either parent, adult, or
Yay!
So within each person there's a parent, an adult and a child, and in any interaction one of those from you is communicating with one of those in the other person.
Yeah, and I found in the project management industry back in the 90s, yeah, the language I was getting from leaders and managers and everything else was very parent. Yeah, you must do this, you must not do that. In the model, the parent voice can be controlling or nurturing. And guess which the command and control picked? The controlling voice. Have you done your timesheet? Remember, you didn't do your timesheet last week. Remember, the timesheets are very important. Yeah? Excellent. Thank you. Right in the right way.
That's it.
Is it up and down, or?
Just side to side.
Yes. Oh, no. Thank you very much. That's the picture. Right, that one too. Classic. Right, so I'm doing my scrums, very happy. I start looking around, and I'm seeing difficulties. I'm seeing management difficulties. I'm seeing team difficulties soon. I think Catherine Kirk again, Lean Agile Scotland started talking about it. You know, some people in the team acting oddly and difficultly. So parent voice can be positive or negative. The adult voice is always neutral. Okay, and the child voice can be positive or negative. What I was finding was all the communication I got were management here and teams there, back before I found Agile. Yeah, that mindset is still going on. Was it last year, Stephen? You got called to a meeting with me because the program director wasn't happy program manager wasn't happy that I told the team what was happening. Why did you tell the team? We told you not to tell the team that we're thinking of having another version. Well, you know what? Let's find out if it was a good idea first. Yeah, they know a damn sight more than you do. Of course, Steve had to go into the canteen and sit through that. Yeah, so mindset, really important. Rebellious tantrums are difficult. And this model actually came from Byrne's work with delinquent children. And a lot of the developers I found before Agile sometimes acted like delinquent children. And that was because it was their only output. It was their only way of fighting back against a system that controlled their wages, their bonuses, and their salaries. What I like about SAFE and what I like about the big group planning is there's a lot of adult talk in it, everyone's equal, but the curious, playful, creative side of people comes out. You get 150 people in a room planning how they're all going to work together to come out with the next feature in 12 weeks, and the management are there, and you can ask them any question you want, and you can get your architectural stuff answered in a second. It's bloody exciting. Much better mindset. So, other things I found back in the days when I wasn't happy. You get this. One Agile project in an organisation, but we're Agile. Student loans won a prize for being government digital on one project. Yeah? The mindset, don't travel. Taylor, anyone looks at Team's work will understand about Taylor. Taylor did his work in the last 2 centuries ago, and everything was industrial. There's a wonderful book which describes just how we've turned people into machines. A guy called John Ruskin, the artist, wrote it in about 1845, and he said, "Young ladies who buy beads, go to a bead factory. See the shaking hand of the man who makes glass beads. All day he sits and makes glass beads. We have turned him into a machine. Young ladies, do not buy glass beads." Yeah. From then on, Ford and everyone else comes in and turns everything into such a process bit, and now work's not human. In the 60s, knowledge work comes along, and that whole generation there, we can really look back to Snowbird and what they did with Agile and how they started thinking about Agile. But now we're in the creative workspace. Everyone here in this room is a revenue generator, not a cost center. Yeah? So why do our organizations still think of you as cost centers? How can I reduce my software development by 10%? I don't know, I could put it in India. Yeah? You're not working anymore with industrial work. You're working with creative work. So we did your mindset. Anyone seen this one? Dave Snowden. What Dave Snowden in his model says, we get different types of organisation. We've got obvious stuff. So I think in a lot of the work that we did in IT was, here's a paper system, let's make it computerised. That was obvious. Didn't take that much work to do. We then got complicated stuff. So we maybe want to do things across several countries, but it's quite simple. Now we're just into the complex stuff. Only knowledge workers can do complex stuff. So back in the days, I'm looking at lots of small teams working together or not together, with stories passing together. Anyone work in a place like this? Yeah? It's alignment. Remember that? Remember when I got you to stand up and point north? Yeah? These guys could point north as to what their vision is or what they should be doing. How could that translate to a great step forward for the company? I've seen organizations like this. You get the new CIO in, he calls his heads in, and he tells them, my vision is we're going to split the company this way, we're going to do it this way, we're going to do that this way, that's going to be this, that's going to be this. Right, now you've got the vision, go off and do it. That doesn't work. It doesn't work with knowledge workers. My all-time favourite, Dilbert. All the time we talk about getting closer to the business, and then project management get in between us and the business. So you never get near the business. What we then got really good at doing was starting pilot projects. Let's go back to the student loans. Yeah? Let's do a pilot project. So what you do is you take 20 people, you get 40 contractors in, you get a high-paid supply company in, you put them in a different building away from everyone else in the rest of the organisation, you get them to run a project, and you go, woohoo, we're agile. Right? We don't need the consultancy company now. And the contractors, you're far too expensive. We're doing £1,000 a day for you. It's all right, we'll take it from here. We'll go and make the rest of the organisation agile. Yeah. So we go from early adopters and then we get a break. I'm guessing quite a few organisations are in that space where you manage to have some agile success and it worked to small scale, but when you try and move it forward, it's struggling, even with vision. And DevOps. Yeah, I love DevOps. I think it's amazing. Everyone know what DevOps is? There's 3 definitions I'm still working out, but I love the idea of working together. I love the idea of automating a lot of the stuff that needs to be automated. And I love the idea of the small feedback cycle loops. Because it's taking the stuff that's really quite boring and it's taking it away from everyone. So what you get to work on is the real problems. So I started thinking about scaling, and about how we scale. I think Tesco Bank was when I started thinking about scaling, because we had lots of good Scrum Masters and lots of good teams. I just couldn't see how it built up into a corporate vision. I think this is an interesting one as well. I kept going to Lean Agile meetings and people would start arguing about, well, a stand-up needs to be 15 minutes. You need to have a retrospective every week. Yeah. We need to do the 3 questions at the stand-up. Yeah. And I realized that a lot of people were just getting caught up in the processes. And the biggest thing I'd say to it SAFe is, I'm not going to go through the SAFe processes today, but don't use the SAFe as a toolbox, just as I did with the tools. Yeah, don't try and implement everything the way that the SAFe manual says. Because what we need to focus on is the mindset. So that's where I got to. Anyone read the chimp paradox?
Reading at the moment.
Wonderful. Come up here. Stand up. Everyone, give Andrew a round of applause, please, for coming up here. I'm going to test you on this now. Anything you get wrong, right? I'm going to put on the Meetup website now to say that you're a complete fuck up and idiot.
Oh, right, okay.
And I'm going to stop you there. Right? Right, I'm going to take you through it. You can no, but stand here. It's a good 2-piece.
Yeah, okay.
And in the chimp paradox, what works out, what we talk about is the different brains that have evolved at different times. Okay? Sorry if you're a creationist. Current theories in neurology are, we started off with a lizard brain, we then had a mammal brain, and then we had what we call our human brain. In the chimp paradox, the chap that does that does a lot of work with the Olympic team, and I've got some links here to go to the videos, you can see how he worked with the Olympic teams, and we were very successful at the last Olympic.
Indeed, yes. Chris Hoy uses
And what he says is, you've got an ancestral brain, we'll call it the chimp brain. And then you've got your rational brain, and then you've got your computer. And your computer is where you store your data. Good so far?
Yep. Yep.
Cool. Now, got bad news. As soon as I called Andrew up, I activated his chimp brain. He went, shit, I'm going to stand up in front of people.
What's going to happen to me?
His brain went, what if I get it wrong? What if Scott hits me? Can I kill him? Can I run out of the building? Do I remember enough? And all the time, as it's running through all the scenarios, it's hammering the computer. Yeah? And it's getting all the data out. And he relaxed a bit. And we've worked together before, so he's quite... He knows I wouldn't... You know, he
Wouldn't kill me. Yeah.
Whilst all this is happening, yeah, a message goes to the human brain. And it's a bit like, you know, the chimp brain's doing this. And the human brain's kind of going like, calm down. Calm down. But the human brain doesn't get access to the computer until the chimp's finished. Yeah. Interestingly enough, if you ever watch a Donald Trump video, yeah, he's talking to the chimp brain. Yeah, that's all he's doing. He's talking to the chimp brain. Yeah. So that means, like, you know, apparently the latest statistic, there's just as many black cops as white cops been killed. Yeah. That information is in here. The chimp doesn't want to know about that. It's going black cop, black cops, because it's listening to the words. I'm not going to go into all of this, but this happens in meetings. This happens at stand-ups. Yeah, you know that bit where you've been fast asleep at the stand-up? Or even the stand-ups turned a horrible thing where the PMs try to use it as an update. He wants to publicly shame you for not delivering your commitment that night. Yeah, sorry, Andrew. So, how did I do?
That was pretty good.
Yeah, good. You can go back. No. Or you can stand here. Mindset, another great book. Definitely read it. Great for parenting. Guess how I've been using it. What it says is there's two mindsets. One is the one that was taught throughout the 1990s, which is look in the mirror and say, I am a champion, I am a winner. Yeah. It's the one that we got from Tony Robbins and all the sales stuff. I think the only practitioner at the moment is Trump. What that's about is you are a good person. Yep. And I'll congratulate. What's your name?
Joe.
Joe. All right. So, Joe, well done in that exam. You're really intelligent.
Thank you.
What are you now thinking?
I made it good.
You know, you're thinking, if I didn't do well in that exam, he'd think I wasn't intelligent. I'm going to have to do well in exams. What Dewar says in this is, instead of saying you've passed or failed, have you passed and you haven't passed yet? Yep. Because what you want to develop is a growth mindset. What the growth mindset says is, look, I don't know a lot of stuff I'm going to have to learn. When you look at SAFE, treat it like in the whole of Agile. Because I've learned SAFE last year. If I'm standing here 2 years' time, I'll probably talk about something else. Because my journey with Agile is just learning and learning and learning. If I've got a growth mindset, yeah, if I didn't manage to do something, it was because I hadn't learned it enough. Yeah, if I've got a fixed mindset, if I didn't manage to do it, I'm just useless. And that's the way we teach. And that's the way our school systems go. And that's command and control. Yeah. So use that language in retros as well when you're reviewing things. Right, switch. I'm throwing all these mental models out. Okay, there's links to everything and the slides will go up. Okay, the elephant, the rider, and the path. Anyone know that one? Hey. Do you want to have a...
It's my favourite book.
Oh, come up.
I just
You have to come up. I've stood with so many organisations that have processes that are causing their projects to be late, the people to be unhappy and leave, the supplier relations to be appalling, and everyone's happy with it. Yeah? And you're going to explain why.
Well, I'm going to explain why if you're going to do good change management, you need to be engaging both the rational part of people's mind and the emotional part, and also shape the path, which is make it easy for them to do it. So you want to get them get excited about why it's a great thing to make this change, and also give them some clear direction and steps that you can follow to make this change, very rational, and also make any barriers that might come up in their path, try and remove them or make them as small as possible to make this change.
Excellent. I love that. The idea is, it's like Alba, who's little. She's all elephant. Yeah. She's all chimp. She hasn't got the rationing. And remember in the chimp paradox, where if the chimp goes crazy, the human can't do anything. That's why the analogy of the elephant's so good. If your elephant goes rogue, it doesn't matter what you want to do something on top of it. But the elephant's quite scared and just wants to stay on the path. Yeah. I want full credit for all my co-hosts tonight. So, yeah. But the elephant wants the path. And this is the breakthrough for me when I started looking at SAFE. SAFE's a different path to take people from an organisation and to try and get all their elephants, whether they be management or analysts or leaders or developers, and try and move them onto a different path. Because the reason people are stuck with the bad delivery, the arguments, the top-down projects that we spend a year on and then we don't do, is because that's the path they're familiar with. So the only way to get our emotions to change, is to change the path. I'm going to speed through these. So when Stephen first talked to me about SAFE, I must admit, I did think it was, oops, hang on, I've done the bit of only moving one. I did think it was like the evil consultant, showing you the huge complicated diagram, and saying, give me £100 million and I'll do it for you. And the more I got into it, there was a toolkit. You're actually now seeing where all the demos are supposed to fit. All SAFE to me is, we've got lean here in the why we're doing things, but we're all working as a team to work on the why. We've got agile delivery practices, so it's based on Scrum. Doesn't tell you what Scrum is because it assumes you know Scrum. You can use Kanban, but also heavily uses the DevOps mindset and the automation. I'm not going to go into this heavily because what I didn't want to do was come here and talk about SAFE. I want to tell you why we need mindsets and why we need paths and why we need to calm everything down. The Agile Manifesto, which everyone should know and we discussed earlier, was great. The lean elements that come out of here, the respect for people and culture, the flow, the innovation, the relentless improvement, focusing on the economic case and value, and leadership, really brings something else to it. So if you put those two things together, you've got something really powerful. Going back on the timeline, I think Mark spoke about Deming earlier. That was about systems thinking. We then went to lean manufacturing, agile software development. Then we've got the lean startup because everything was getting too big and too processy. And now we're in the bit where we're trying to do whole organizations agilely. And on the whole, we tend to do that badly. Oh, sorry, just to go back on here as well. With the mindset, we're moving away from complicated domains. Go back to the bead manufacture, and we're now moving into the how do I do it on Snapchat? Probably a good answer. This is if you're gonna buy one book this year and read this book. I'll tell you everything you need to know about software development. It's heavily used in SAFE material. Read that and you probably sit the SAFE exam. And it's about mindset. And I love this one. Yeah. It's a different way of thinking. All of this material on SAFE is available in SAFE. All these case studies are there. These case studies, each of these shows these individual items. There's principles, so take an economic view, apply systems thinking, assume variability, build incrementally and fast. All of that very familiar with the Agile Manifesto. If you go to the material, it breaks it down further. For executives, it gets on one page, showing what the benefits are. And it's all about mindset. I'm speeding up because I'm taking a bit longer than I wanted to. But it's worth looking at the patterns and anti-patterns. We need to engage with leaders and organisations. And that's the pointy-headed bosses in Dilbert. Yeah, nobody's got any sympathy for the pointy-headed boss in Dilbert. Yeah, but that's a mindset. somewhere they got taught that at a business school, and they think that's a valid mindset. Maybe they bought the most widely sold business book ever, Trump's The Art of the Deal. So they think they need to make a deal all the time. But that's old mindset. We really need to kill it and bury it. And that's what Agile's about. There's a poster there that breaks it down into even more. And what I would say, if you ever think about looking at SAFE, get that poster off the website. Don't look at the big functional flow one, because that scared the crap out of my elephant. Okay. Here's sources. Again, the slides will go up in the meetup. The chimp paradox talk is brilliant because it's about the Olympics team. This is wonderful because it's about children. You know, do read the first chapter of the book about the ride on the elephant. And I think that was me. Sorry about the talking.